Okay, so I've already made the Raiz tutorial, and I realized something when I watched the tutorial on the camera. The difference between the two takeoffs that I was talking about, cheat setup backflip versus the reverse ow with no hands, is that one is more horizontal, high and floaty, and one is lower and faster and flippier. I personally don't think there's a difference between a high rise and a low rise. I think they're rises, I think they're the same move. If you want to learn the low, fast, flippy one, then watch the following tutorial. If you want to learn the higher floating one, there's 1.5 million of them already in existence. And I misspoke when I said that it's going to be a tutorial. It's more my thoughts on rises and how I personally do them. I hope it helps you very much. If it helps one person, then it was worth me talking to a camera for 15 minutes with people looking at me funny because they think I'm talking to myself because they can't see the camera. I need a cameraman. Really bad. Okay, enjoy the tutorial.
Okay, first of all, I need a tripod. Really bad. I have one, it's at home, it didn't fit in my suitcase. Tough luck for me. And for you, because I can't make as effective of a tutorial. John, Hamill, and Roger Kettle. John wanted me to make the Raiz tutorial, Roger, you wanted me to make the Gumby tutorial. I'm going to make both. 2 different videos. I'm going to go over technique, little tips, ways to drill it. The problem with it is that I'm not considering this a tutorial so much as I'm just giving my thoughts on it. I think tutorials are kind of overrated because there's not just one way to do every move. There's not necessarily a best way. For some things there is, but I digress. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on how to do a Raiz. Now, it's very loud in here, so I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to end up having to do it all over again in a quieter space. Okay, I'm probably going to have to save the Gumby tutorial for when I can talk more. I'm sorry, Roger. You might have to wait a little bit. Maybe I'll do it in my dorm room when I get back. But the Raiz tutorial. Okay, so the first thing you want to do to learn Raiz is you want to practice your wheel kicks a lot. This is what I discovered when I was learning them, or I was drilling them more recently, is that if you watch people who do really good rises, like James Yu, he always does a wheel kick beforehand. Now that's for power, but if you also watch it, if you watch his leg in the wheel kick, the kicking leg, and then you watch the same leg in his rise, they take the exact same path in the air. So I think it's important to practice your wheel kicks. Maybe even more important than practicing your Gumbies, but you should be able to Gumby. You should be able to aerial on the side that you're learning a Raiz, because normally if you have all your tricks on the same side, you'll be taking off of your left leg for an aerial and your right leg for a Raiz. Learn an aerial on both sides because it's helpful anyway, but it'll help you with the Raiz if you can do an aerial on both sides. And then you want to learn this move, which is a kind of a wheel kick variation. It's called a Mui Lua Reversao. I probably just butchered that. I'm sorry to all Portuguese capoeiristas. But it's this. So basically, everyone's going to yell at me for saying this, but it's like a hyper wheel kick. There's more to it, but I'll link the proper name. I'll link a tutorial for that move in the bottom. Learn that. I'm not the best at it. Mine are kind of sloppy. It's possible to do that without hands. Jaime, Jamie Cologne, he does it, and it looks awesome. When I tried it, I just did rises, but I did very good rises because I used to do it the way I learned it, which is cheat setup, backflip, and my rises were still pretty good. They got better when I realized, I'm going to try to do the reverse out thing without hands, but I just did good rises. And when you think about it that way, it feels a lot less like a cheat setup to a backflip or a gainer or whatever you want to say, and it feels more like a Raiz. It feels like it's its own trick. I'll show you 2 things. First, I'm going to do it the old way I did, which is like the cheat setup backflip kind of deal, and then I'll show you the new way that I do it. You should notice the difference between the two, and they're almost like 2 different moves in my mind. They're the same move, they're both rises, but in my mind they feel like 2 different moves. Now I'm going to do a wheel kick, and then I'm going to do it into a Raiz, and I want you to watch the path that my kicking leg takes in the wheel kick, and then watch how it takes the exact same path in the Rise. That one wasn't very good, but I'm on carpet, like marble floor. You should have been able to see it, unless I did it really bad, in which case I'm going to edit this video and be very disappointed in myself. Should have been able to see how my leg goes over for the wheel kick, and then over again it takes the same path. Now, the thing about the trick with treating it like a reverse sow with no hands is that it gets you a lot of flip. Like, you're going to flip around. James Yu's rises are so good because he's landing almost immediately after he takes off. And he can get all that power, and he can do, what's it called, a shuriken double cork. You know, and it's amazing. So I'll go over little bits like that. So if you can do the leg thing, like a no-handed reverse sow, you should get tons of flip. That should be what you're getting. To get height, you need to do two things. One, you need to not dip your chest down and leave it there. Lots of moves have dips, so think about a butterfly kick. What do? You dip down and then you dip back up to take off. If you just dip down and stay there, you get no height. If you dip down and go back up, you get tons of height. In a Rise, it's the same way. When you're stepping over, down, if you just step down and leave your chest down, you're going to stay there. You need to step over as you're lifting your leg up, pick your chest up in the air, because you're going to flip wherever your chest is. So if you're dipping down for the Rise, leaving your chest down, you're going to stay really close to the floor. But if you dip down and then back up, like a butterfly kick dip or a butterfly twist, you're going to get tons more air. The other thing important for getting height is arms. Arms, when you use your arms properly in a Rise, you will know it, because it will feel so much better. I'm going to do 2 Rises. I'm going to show you one using my arms improperly, and then I'm going to show you one where I'm just going to exaggerate using the arms, and then I'll explain it after. So when you're doing a Rise, you're stepping over. Using your arms, that creates a problem, because your arms are swinging down. So if you swing your arms down, they're going to throw you down, and you're going to cut all your height, like you should see in the first one that I did. What you need to do is you need to go over and then up. It's a full circle. If you just go, you're going to go like that. If you go up and lift your arms as you're dipping up with your chest, you're going to get so much more air, and it's going to feel miraculous. With your head, put your head up your butt when you take off. That was James Yu's advice. That was his one piece of advice for all Rises, is when you're taking off, you want to open up your chest and arc your back, and try to put your head up your butt, and it will help a lot. Okay. Making it look pretty. There's a few things you can do to make it look pretty. Is when you're in the air, on your takeoff leg, not the lifting leg, the one you're taking off of, bend the crap out of it. Like, bend it as much as possible. If you ever watch James Yu, his Rises look so pretty because he's got his back arched, he's got his arms back, ready to swing through, and he's got his right leg bent like this. I'll try to exaggerate it. I'm not very good at this part, but maybe you'll be a little bit better. Oh, okay, so those weren't very good, in my opinion. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Rises. There have been so many threads about asking for help with Rises on Trick Session lately. You know, much love to John Hamill for letting me make this tutorial, or giving me a reason to. And Roger, I'll hopefully have up your Gumby tutorial soon, because a Gumby tutorial is going to require a lot more talking, and I don't want to be shouting at the camera from back there, because there's people around, and they already think I'm crazy enough. So, yeah. Good luck. If I think of anything else, which I probably will as soon as I turn the camera off, I will add it in. And if I can't think of anything between now and when I upload the video, and then I go, oh crap, there's this such important thing that I forgot to add, then I'll put it in the description on the video. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this helps you somehow.